the domino effect, and the seven-figure sales system. Today, we're going to cover both of those items, and I promise you, you're going to learn something new. Why can I guarantee that this is new information? Well, I'll tell you what, I just learned it from Jared Glant, president of Cardone Training Technologies, because he just figured it out in the last month. So this is brand new. This is an incredible piece of content. I can't believe I'm sharing it here for just my exclusive newsletter subscribers. So thank you for subscribing to the Business Edge, and let's dive right in and get to the seven-figure sales system. So 10x sales system, our path to seven figures. I want to briefly overview this. We're going to set the stage for then what the dominoes are, why they matter, and how you can implement those in your business. So number one on our sales system here is the idea and target. So idea and target's really just quite simple. It's what are we striving to? What are our goals? What are our targets? What's the big idea we have? The value that we're going to bring to get people to exchange their time, their energy, their money to get whatever it is we have. So our idea and target. That's our starting point. Now, one key difference here is this isn't a lazy ass target. We're not saying I want to make $100,000 or I want to make $1 million. But why? How? What are you going to do to get there? So we're going to use our millionaire math. We're going to really break this down into finite targets and get to the root of what is it exactly we need to do. How many calls per day? How many meetings per week? How many sales do we have to convert from those meetings to generate the income, to be able to produce the profits, to hit maybe that big personal target of a quarterly family vacation? And if that's our target, how do we build that to where we can do it sustainably, where we're removed enough from the business in the operations to be able to push that ahead? So that's the idea and target. 2, attention. Attention, simply put, is anything you do to bring attention to you. Social media posts, live streams, hosting a webinar, speaking on a stage, making a cold call, following up a warm lead, engaging your power base. Any number of things, simply standing on the side of the road and yelling, "Hey, over here!" The sign spinners, right? It's attention, it's marketing, it's promotion, it's PR. It's all of those things wrapped into one. Your number one threat to your business is obscurity. You've got to get out of obscurity. Number 2, attention. It's getting out of obscurity and into omnipresence. Number 3 then, leads. So we've got our idea and target. Now we know our marching orders. We've gone out and we've got massive amounts of attention and we're bringing that into the business. Once we've done that, what tends to happen? Oh, we generate some leads. So lead generation is an intentional process off of the attention that we went out and got, that we created, that we secured in support of the idea and the target. 4, lead management. Lead management, taking those leads, moving them through a process, nurturing them, engaging them, tracking them, getting all the information we need, our fact finding to be able to move them into our sales process. Number 5. So, sales process. This is where we're selling and closing. It's just as simple as that. It's everything that's required to take a lead that we've nurtured, sell them, close them, convert that into money. Number 6, managing the money. Managing the money, if you're making less than $250,000 a year of gross revenues, pretty simple. We start getting closer to $1 million, we've got some more advanced strategies we can put in place. If you're north of $1 million in gross revenues, reach out to me. I'll put my CPA hat on along with my 10X business coach, and we'll put those two things together and put some really fantastic money management system strategies, techniques in place for you. Number 7 then, scale. So whether we're at 0 and we're moving to our first dollar, we're at 100K moving to $1 million, we're at $1 million moving to 10. We need to scale. There's scale and there's scaling. There's some differences. We'll cover those at a later date, but this is everything you need to do to be more productive, more efficient, and build systems that can do more, handle more. We come back around and we're back at idea and target, because guess what? You scaled up. You went from idea, you hit your 100K, and now what happens? Well, we better set the new targets. We better get that idea figured out for the next goal, 250, 500, $1 million, wherever we put that. And we're back on through. So the reason it's so important in the system here is now we know the framework that the dominoes are going to be in. Now, why would I show as a wheel, but I'm talking about dominoes? Well, that's the part that we just figured out. That's the part that we're just training on. We're just starting to really get to the heart of, and this is where the fun comes in. So as you can see here, we've got idea and target. Remember, that's our number one. And then we've got a gap, and then we've got our next domino, attention. And then we've got leads and leads management 3 and 4 shown here as well. So if you think about a line of dominoes that you set up as a child, and you set them all up around the room, and then somebody walked in the room, the dog, knocked one over. Mom and dad carrying laundry through, knocked one over. A sibling, worst case scenario. Now you really started a fight, knocked one over. What happens? Well, those dominoes fall, one after another, after another, after another, and all of your hard work, chain reactions to the end of that domino sequence. Well, in our business, we want those dominoes to fall. We're intentionally laying those dominoes one after the other, so they hit and they fall. But what happens, we have a skills gap or a massive action gap. So when we're talking about a skills or a massive action gap, it's simply this. Something you don't know, you don't understand, something that's not in place, or we're simply not doing enough of to reach the next domino. So we get really clear on our idea and target, and we're like, man, I am going to be the number one t-shirt retailer in the world. Okay, perfect. Idea, target, massive, locked in. We do all the math, we break it down into exactly how much you need to do in the next moment, and then what happens? We don't take enough action, and the next domino doesn't fall. So the key and what you can implement in your business today is make sure you know where your dominoes are at. Start in order, work them in order, and then recognize, if I'm not progressing, where is that gap? For most businesses, once you've got idea and target, the gap is to attention. We get ideas and targets, we don't do enough in attention, we fall short, right? We kind of hit that over. Maybe we get attention to fall, but if we get attention to fall, typically leads are going to fall right with it. Those two are very closely together, right? That domino tips even a little and you start to generate leads. But ideas and targets don't necessarily translate to attention. So with that, implement this in your business. Be great. Keep reaching for the top. And I hope you have an amazing, incredible 10x rest of your day. If you enjoyed this segment, if you enjoyed this exclusive training, only available because you are an active subscriber of the Business Edge newsletter with Coach Gary, hi Coach Gary here, and Micu Growth, then I encourage you, share it with a colleague. Better yet, share it with 3 colleagues who you know could also benefit from this example, and do more, be better, keep reaching for the top in their businesses along with you. We'll see you soon.